after the strong jobs report on Friday.
Yes.
Great jobs report, much, 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 much stronger than expected. How can the Federal Reserve still cut interest rates at the end of the month, which the market seems to expect and which the president is still calling for?
Well, look, I think, Tyler knows, and others, one of my credos down through the years and decades is that rapid growth, low unemployment, solid job creation does not cause inflation. Does not cause inflation. And the so-called Phillips curve has been dead for a very long time. So in terms of what you're asking, fair enough, but I would say you should be looking at the price indicators, not the job indicators.
And we'll get that this week again.
And, yeah, I mean, you've got your reported PCE deflator, and we're going to get, I guess, a CPI number this week, if that's right. In the market, I think watching price signals is a better approach to the Fed. Now, look, this is an analytic. I'm not here to bash the Fed, and I respect their independence. And Jay Powell is a friend. We have lunch every month. Richard Claret is an old friend, and so forth and so on. They'll do what they're going to do. I'll just put that aside for a minute. I'm just saying analytically. So I look at things like the inverted yield curve, which I find somewhat troubling, and I think is a signal to the Fed. If anything, it's a deflationary signal. I think just something like the 5-year break-evens. There's a lot of jargon here, but I think this audience understands that jargon. The 5-year break-evens in the TIPS market are running at like 1.5%, which is the CPI break-even. PCE deflated, that would probably be about 1.25% or less. As you know, their target is 2%. And actually, when goods prices are by and large deflating, commodity indexes have been sloping lower for quite some time. So I'm just saying, on that basis, watching price signals, not jobs, there is room for them to, as I've said, take back the December hike.
Sure, but what about those people who say they only have, what's the number, 8 cuts to give? Why give one now? The stock market's at all-time highs. Unemployment is at all-time lows. Does it seem like it's really that urgent right now?
Well, look, again, I would say they ought to stay with their price targeting. They ought to throw away their Phillips curve. They ought to give long vacations to senior board staff who run those Phillips curve models.
But what you're saying...
I also think...
Go ahead, yeah.
With respect to the world economy, perhaps we'll touch on that later, and these very low interest rates in the marketplace, not just the target rate, I don't have a problem with an insurance policy, and I think that's something to consider. I also think, Kelly, we've had very good wage gains overall, 3.1% last 12 months, I think. But when you dig into that, things like non-supervisor workers, manufacturing, it's actually higher than that. I was at the beautiful dinner last night, hosted by my friend Stephen Mnuchin in the Treasury Department in the old cash room. You had about 100 people plus, including POTUS, in honor of the Sultan of Brunei. Anyway, my point is there are a lot of CEOs there who were talking about how strong wages are. But the workforce is earning it because the productivity rates got back to about 2.5% yearly. So all that's fine. So you could take out an insurance policy. But again, the price signals suggest, as they have all year, going back to last autumn, that that last policy move in December was unnecessary, and I think they could take it back, call it insurance. I call it price level watching. But I don't, it's funny, try as I might, for so many years, in so many ways, in so many shows, in so many interviews, in so many commentaries, price level stability and a steady dollar is what the Fed should aim for, in my view. Again, this is an analytic. I'm not here to proselytize the Fed. Not employment. I mean, I knew, it's great, when the jobs number bunched up, as you said, and beat all the expectations, which made the president very happy when he gave him the news, made me very happy. I love people working. More people working is joyous. July 4th weekend, it was a fabulous number. Pursuit was life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is being fulfilled in America. And by the way, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is not inflationary, should not be crushed by central banks. So I just discard all that stuff.